Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is part 16 and we are back to panel 3. It's Tiana with Storey Haus books. And okay, I've decided how we are going to attach these. Now, let me run back through the options that we were thinking about. Number one, we were going to just attach them, glue them down, and they'd be permanent, right? The problem I had with that is I wanted this to be a little bit more functional, as like used more than once. So it was like, okay, should we use magnets or pockets? Well, looking at this spacing right now, pockets might be okay, but I'm worried about space, right? And the added bulk of a gusset is one of the options that we have. I'm worried about that. I'm worried about just impeding on the folds. I'm just worried about space. We could do that. So we may try, see what it looks like. We may make a pocket and see how much bulk it adds. I thought about using Velcro, but looking at the Velcro is going to add too much bulk. It's going to add about almost more than 1/8 of an inch, almost 1/4 of an inch of bulk behind each one of these. Which would mean that would add between 3 panels stacked on top of each other. That's, you know, almost 3/4 of an inch of bulk we can't afford. So I brought back out my magnets. My magnets are pretty thin. They are about 1 millimeter wide, and that would only add at most 6 millimeters, right? So I'm thinking we're going to go with this or the pocket. So let's do this. We're going to make a faux pocket, or we're going to make a pocket, but just with some scrap paper, and see what kind of bulk we're looking at here, okay? And then we'll decide between the magnets and the pocket, all right? As far as the rest of the panel, I've already decided what we're going to do, just to give you an idea. So we're going to be putting, on the front, we already got the envelopes that I'm going to show you how we distress those on this panel. We're going to use either the black or we're going to use this green. I think we're going to go with the green, just to bring some more color. This flap, or flip out this way, we're going to use file folders here that I believe I want to decoupage here with some botanical Tim Holtz paper. We'll put these here. All right, and we're going to do some decorating on these as well. On this side, we are going to do, I found an old die cut that I had, which is this one. And what it makes is this little guy. This is an accordion style little pocket, and it fits a slide in perfectly. So we're going to put these here, because we could put, like I said, this like here. And instead of it being just plain like that, I tested it with putting a window in it, which is this here, and it'll fit a slide perfect right in here, even too, because it's an accordion, right? So you guys can see that it's got enough space. We could put 2 slides in here. So we're going to do these, and we'll do 2 of those side by side down here, and I believe we can fit 6 here. Okay, so we're going to do that on the inside of here. I'm also going to show you how to make it if you don't have the die. I went and tested it on how to make it without the die, so I'll show you how to do that as well. So that's what's going to go in here. Yeah. Flipping in the other direction, this flip out here, I'm going to show you how to make this guy. And inside of here, one of the things I'm going to show you how to make is this here. This is just from a timesheet or a time card that I Kofi dyed. It's just an envelope that will fit in here. This piece actually has 8 pockets in it. There's one here in the front, right here, one behind this tab, here, behind this tab, here, behind this tab, here, and the way we're going to glue it down and have one behind this tab. The thing about this one is, it's a little bit tricky, because it looks like these are all the same depth, which they're not. They actually are deeper as you go up. So these here, yes, are that deep, but as you go up, the pockets here, they get deeper and deeper, right? So once you get up here, it's actually from this entrance down to here, deep, right? So it's that deep, yeah? So we'll be making different types of, I'm going to do tabbed cards for this one, going up and down, and putting these in as well, in these front pockets, I believe we're going to do these in, right? But I'll show you how to make those as well. And then on this side, we're going to do, excuse me, I had to sneeze. This type of file folder. It's got flaps in it, right? And I believe we'll put a magnetic closure on this one to keep it down. We'll do 2 of these here, and these are all going to end up being stamped and clusters put on, all kinds of decorating, whatever on that. Okay, so now at least we know what we're going to put on every panel. So panel 3 has been planned out, I want to say 95%, just, you know, decorating enclosures and whatnot. Okay, let's get back to it. So let's go ahead and make a pocket for this inside center. And it has to be, let me grab my measuring tape here and see what kind of room we're working with here. Now the space underneath that we're working with, we've only got a little over 5.5 to work with, right? And it has to fit these 2 pockets, right? Which is right under 5.25. So it can be done, just have to be careful with the pocket. So, all right, let's see if we can do it. So like I said, we have a little less than 5.5 inches to work with total for the pocket. Oh, it's right here. Let me grab this a piece of scrap over here. I'm just going to grab a sheet of something. All right, I'm going to grab this. And I forgot my cutter, of course. Hold on one second. Okay, just making sure we're in frame here. It's just a piece of extra thing I printed down that I decided not to use, but we'll use it for this. So what we're going to do, if we have a total of 5.25 to work with, that means that our pocket itself can only be 4.25 because each flap, right, to make the gusset is 1/2 inch. So if 5.5 is as much as we have to work with, then 4.5 is as wide as the usable space in the pocket can be. So I'm just going to cut off this white stuff here real quick, the white edges, because we may end up using this. I like this paper. And this is a digital from, gosh darn it, I can't remember. I think this is Love of Junk Journals. I do not remember. If you're interested in this, let me know in the comments and I will find it for you. Okay, so I said 5.5 is as much as we have to work with. So it has to be, I'm sorry, 5.5, which means if 5.5 is the usable space we have, scratch the whole 4.5 thing I said. 5.5 is as wide as it can be. We need to cut at 6.5. That gives it a 1/2 inch flap on either side of the pocket. So let's do that. We're going to say 5.5 is usable space. 6.5 will give us a 1/2 inch gusset on either side. So that's going to be the width, is 6.5. Now, depth-wise, I'm going to say, just looking at one of these pockets, I don't want it to go any higher than that, right? So that measures, where's my measuring tape? Oh, here it is. The total height of these pockets are a little over 3.25 with the folding and whatnot, right? So since I don't want it to go up any higher than about half of that, let's say we don't want the pocket itself any higher than, let's say, what do we think? 1.5 ought to be good. Yeah, no more than 1.5 in depth of the pocket. So we'll need an inch flap. So let's say we're gonna make it 2 inches tall. Yeah? All right, so now we know the measurements. So we're gonna make this 2 inches tall. That doesn't seem like enough. Let me look at this again. I want it to be here. I would feel better at 1 3/4. So let's make it 2 1/4 deep, 2 1/4 tall. So let's do that. 2 1/4. We put it right here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's our measurements. 6.5 wide, right? 2 1/4 tall. Okay. All right, I'm gonna grab my scoreboard so I can score my flaps here. And we're gonna do a 1/2 inch on either side. So this pocket is gonna fit both of those envelopes, all right, not just one. We don't have enough room to do 2 separate ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1/2 inch over here. And then a 1/2 inch on the bottom. Now, once we do the real pockets, I'm also gonna sew around the edges, just FYI. Okay, let's go ahead and fold here. And then we're going to measure the pocket and make sure that it fits in our usable space in the Lapbook on the page. I'm also going to miter the corners real quick. That'll get rid of some bulk. So if you guys remember, I go at an angle to the intersection of the two score marks and then an angle out. So it should look like this, okay? So add an angle in to the intersection and add an angle out of it, right? And then of course at the opening of the pocket as well. All right, so you should have something that's shaped like this, okay? And this is actually our pocket, and that will fit, hopefully, if I measure this right, two of these, both of these, right? Yeah, perfectly, okay? That way she can add more, you know, when she decides she doesn't want to use these anymore, she can add new ones of her own and reuse this panel. Okay, let's see if this fits now. Like I thought it would, or I hope it will. Let's go into the center here. Get this out of the way. Okay. Let's see if this fits. And it fits perfect. So what we'll have is a pocket here is our option number 1, and it'll fit 2 of these guys inside here. What do you guys think? So we'll do that, and then we'll do another one here, and we'll have 2 more down here. I think, you know what? I think this will make me sleep better, knowing that she can interchange these, and they won't be, there won't be magnets attached to these. She won't have to purchase more magnets when she makes more seed packets, and all she'd have to do is, you know, put a new one in here, right? And I don't think that's going to create too much of additional bulk. Looking at it from the side, it doesn't create any more bulk than the magnets would. So we're going to go with pockets, and I kind of like this paper. Do we have enough of this to create all the pockets? I do kind of like this paper a lot, actually. So how many more can I get out of this one? What did I say those were? 2 1/4. I can get another pocket out of this one. And I can always print some more of this down. Or we can use another paper. Dilemma. I think I want to use these all over. Because this is a digital, I can print some more of these down. What do y'all think? Is it this one? Is this the one that we're using? Again, this is the one. So I can get how many more out of this? I can get 1, 2, I get 2 more out of this. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go print down some more of this and bring it over to cut, and we'll make the pockets. Okay, guys, I'm back. I printed out some more. I couldn't find this particular one. I'm going to have to keep looking, but I did find these 2 that will look good, too. So we'll use make copies out of these as well, right? So we'll do this one for this panel, and then maybe this one make these 4, and this one to make these 2 over here, right? Okay, so anywho, so let's make these. I should be able to get another pocket out of this. So I can grab my cutter real quick. Actually, let me move this. Move this out of the way. Well, you know, before I do that, let's measure these and make sure that these are just as wide as that middle panel. Aha! This is a little bit shorter. Good thing I measured it. So this would not fit. But we can get 2 in here, side by side. Uh-oh, that poses a problem, you guys. We could put a pocket, but they'd have to be kind of on top of each other, which we can do. Which is fine. I don't mind that. Being kind of on top of each other like that. We can do it. Alright, so let's see what our usable space is over here. And then we'll check the other panel as well. So our usable space on this side is, you know what, before we get confused, let's finish the middle and then we'll measure the other ones. Yeah? Let's do that. I don't want us to get confused with different measurements. Alright, so width-wise we said 6.5, right? 6.5, and that's exactly 6.5 because we already cut that one. And then this way we said 2 1/4, right? Yeah, 2 1/4. Okay. Let me grab my scoreboard real quick, and then we'll attach these two. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1/2 inch right there. Okay. I'd fold these. Go. And let's go ahead and miter our corners here to the intersection and out the intersection at the entrance, and then again to the intersection and then out of the intersection. Okay. All right. I'm going to go sew both of these real quick, and then we'll be back. Okay, we can sew these real quick, and let's go ahead and, oh, where did that come from? Don't know. Don't know where that came from. Probably one of my other ideas I thought about putting in here, of the many that I have. I might want to make another one. I'll make it even bigger. It'll be like 7 inches wide. No, kidding. Maybe. I don't know. I've also went ahead and inked these as well. And let's go ahead and put these in. I'm going to use, since we're doing paper to paper, I'm going to use art glitter glue here. And remember, it's especially important with this one, do not put your glue all the way to this edge, okay? Otherwise your pocket's going to be really tight. Even with this gusset, it'll be too tight, okay? Trust me on this. All right, if you haven't heard me say it before, because I do have some new people out there, I put my glue up to right about here, about 1/8 of an inch or more away from this edge. This allows the pocket to come up a little bit off the page, and it gives it a little bit more room without adding more bulk. Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean, for those of you who have not seen this before. All right, so I'm going to put my glue here, if I can get it to come out, right about to there, not to the edge of the paper. It'll make it too tight, okay? Trust me on this. And any of those of my subbies that have used that before, post it in the comments to reinforce what I'm telling folks here that are new. All right? Because even with that flap, it's, in my personal opinion, it's still too tight. Especially if there's going to be seeds in these packets, right? We need that little bit of extra room. So I'm going to put these, let me measure this real quick of where I want to place these. So those are going to be there. I want this right about here, yeah? So here, I'll say here. You want this right about there, a little bit above the halfway point, right? And that'll go in right there. Okay? So right here, line it up, make sure that that is even. Excuse me, I want to lift the book up so I can get a better look at it. Yeah, it's a little off. All right, right there. I think that's good. All right. Now, again, for those of you who don't understand my whole gluing technique of not going to the edge, now, when you go in here, you see how it pulls up away from the paper just a little bit? That's what you want. Okay, it's not going to come off. It's attached. It just gives you just a little bit more room to add more stuff in here without it being so difficult to get in there. Because if it was down tight like this, it's still difficult to pull out that piece, okay? Just trust me on it. Try it yourself and see what you think. And if you think it works for you, do that. All right, the next one is going to go right about here. So measure that one. Okay, I think I want to put it right here. And that would put this packet right about there. So it's going to be a little, it should be right up against that pocket, right that. Okay, perfect. Okay. Again, we'll grab our glue. Make sure not to go all the way to the edge. Or the outer edge, rather. Not the inner one. The inner one you want all the way to the edge. But the outer edge of this flap, you don't want to go all the way out there. Or it's my recommendation that you don't. If it works for you, you don't mind it being in that flat, tight kind of pocket, then you do you. This is the way I do it. And I find it works very well. You don't have to ever you run less risk of that pocket tearing off the page. Trust me, I'm telling you it works. Okay, just double check here again. Okay. Alright, I'm going to put this pocket right here up on the threads. Right about there. Let's just double check here. That looks good. Alright, I'm going to lift this page, the book up real quick, make sure I got it straight. Okay, I think we're straight there. Alright, I don't have a splinter. I got a splinter or something in my finger. Move the threads out of the way. Alright, now those, I want to let those dry. I'm not going to force those right now, put anything in it. But just to double check, I'll put one in here. There, and then the next one would go right here, and it shouldn't hit this pocket, and it does not. Okay. So now this way she can add new stuff in there as she wants. Let's cut this thread down just a smidge. That's a little long. I think the rest of these are okay. Okie dokie. That's a little long too. Nah, I like it long. The person who gets this can always cut it down if they want to. I like the threads sticking out everywhere. If you might have noticed. I like them. I think they're pretty. I think they're cute. Alright, so, anywho, just pressing these down some more. I think we're good. Alright, let's let that dry. Alright, usable space on the other panel. So panel, this flip out on the left, we've got, actually we can go all the way out to this edge, over the threading, because that's where the actual flap is, or the fold is. So we got more than I thought. So we do have the same amount of room on this one. And with this one, almost. So we'll make this one, let's see, what is this? This was, ends up being less than 5.5 once we score it. So, you know what? I think we'll be okay with the same size on these. Let's make these about 1/4 of an inch narrower on this side, okay? So let's go ahead and cut these. We'll cut these the same as this at 6.5 by 2.25. Over here, we're going to do this at 6.25 by 2.25. Yeah? Okay, let's do that. Okay, fold it up again, put it to the side again. Alrighty, so let's use this one on the left and the blue one on the right. Let's cut these. I'll go sew them. We'll attach them and put the pockets in, and we'll call that one a video for today. Maybe we'll see where we are. Okay, so I said the same on this side, so we'll need it at 6.5. Right about there. 6.5. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And 2 pockets that are 2.25 deep. So 2.25 is right here. One more. And we'll use a scrap paper for like ephemera or cluster making or for tags, what have you. What was the same? Yeah. Okay, that's those 2. And then this one for the right side of that flip, that center. Alright, 6.5 wide. Right there. And I said we're going to make it 1/4 of an inch shorter, so I'm going to make this one 6.25, okay? So this is the right side. It's going to be 6.25 by 2.25. Just a little bit narrower, just to be sure that it fits. I need 2 of these. Alright, we'll save those 2 pieces for something else. White strips we don't need. Let's go ahead and score our flaps, and then I'll go sew and we'll get these on. Oops, excuse me. Alright, 1/2 inch this side, 1/2 inch on this side, And then this is what's going to go 1/2 inch on the bottom. Okay? It's going to go this way, so 1/2 inch over here, 1/2 inch flap, and then 1/2 inch on the bottom, which would be this way. Alright. That's the left side. Here's the right side. And we're going to do the same thing, 1/2 inch on either side, and then 1/2 inch on what we're going to be using the bottom. So this is going to be that way. Okay. This is going to go this way. Oh, that's pretty. I like this one. And there we go. All right. Next, of course, is our mitering of the corners. All right, at an angle to the intersection of the score marks, and then out of the score marks at an angle. All right, miter the entrances, and again, in and out at the intersection. In, out, entrances here, in and out. All right, these are the left side ones. Rinse and repeat. Oh, I'm in frame, right? Yeah, I am. Okay. I'm always so paranoid about that. Okay, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. All right, now I'm going to go sew these. Then we'll attach, and then we'll see where we are on time. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and ink these now that I've sewn them. In fact, I inked them before I left. Just real quick, let's go ahead and give these edges a nice burnish real quick as well while we're at it. La, 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 la. So I'm getting a little bit better at editing, I think. So on some of these parts, I'm going to try fast forwarding, like for instance on this particular part, like where I'm inking. That way I don't do anything off camera at all. What do you guys think? Would you guys rather me keep the same speed, or maybe just speed up on some of the repetitive parts? That way I don't, you don't miss a thing, but it's a little bit faster. Just on like this part right here. You don't need to see this at the normal speed. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that in the background. That's the landscapers are outside. I'm so sorry about that. Sorry if it's bothering anybody, but this is the only time I've got to film at the moment. And I'm also thinking, since I'm getting a little bit better at editing, that I will film all of panel 3, maybe not all straight, but like in sections, and then put all of them together. What do you guys think about that? That way it's not a bunch of different videos for this panel. It's just a little bit longer because I can just connect them all together, all the different videos, and do one really long for panel 3, or would you rather me break it up into still long, but maybe a little bit shorter? I don't know. Just trying to think what's best for you guys, what you would prefer. Because I know we're getting kind of long, and this is part 16 now. I believe we're 16. Okay, so let's get these sewn in. So these two are going to go, the green ones are going to go on the left side, and the bluish teal ones are going to go on the right. Okay. Uh-oh, dropped something over there. Okay, on this side is going to be these two guys. Make sure they fit. Let's put the strings out of the way. So we'll do one here. Open this side up as well. Oh, wait. Oops. Almost put it on the wrong panel, y'all. This way. Here and here. Yeah, and those do fit. Do those get in the way of the fold? They do not. And over here, these fit as well. Let's see. Yes, they do. Awesome sauce. All right, let's get the strings out of the way and get these down and put some pockets in. All right, again. Uh-oh, I left my pin out. Uh-oh, did it stop up? Yep, there we go. Again, glue to the inner edge, not the outer edge. Grab a packet just to measure where we want it. Okay, I think I'm going to try to do it the same height as this one, so let's just do that. Right, there's the inner fold is right here, but we don't want to get over that. All right, I'm going to stand this up, make sure I'm level. Looks level to me. I'm going to actually push this up just a smidge before that dries. You know, we all know art glitter glue dries quick. All right, we're good there. All right, let's get these strings out the way and let this one dry. All right, where's the other one? And the other one will line up with this pocket down here. All right, our glue on. Alright, and this should be our left side here. Done. Alright, I'm going to pull the book up again, make sure I'm level. Okay, bring this down just a little bit. Alright, I think we're good here. I'm going to bring it over. Alright, quickly, Tiana, quickly, quickly. Alright, I think we're good here. Okay, let's press this one down. How's this one doing over here? I think we're doing good with that one. That one looks like it's dry. All right, let's do the right-hand side here. Alright, I think I'm happy with this. What do you guys think of the pocket idea versus the magnets or the Velcro? Or just gluing it down permanently? I think this was the best way to go, honestly. Where's the fold? There's the folds. Let's try to line these up. Alrighty. Let me lift this up, make sure it's straight. It is not. And it's down a little too far, so let's bring this up some real quick. Alright, there we go. I think that's straight now. Yep, we're good there. Alrighty. Last one, and let's put these seed packets in and see what we got. We'll see the end result. And then we'll go on to the next panel, yeah? Our next flap of this particular panel, number 3. Alright. I really think this is the best way to go, you guys, doing it this way. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Please let me know what you think. Alright. Here we go. Let's make sure that this one is level. I think we're good. And let's press this one down. Alright, you guys, there are our pockets for our bottom center flip out here of the third panel. And I think I'm happy with that. What do you guys think? So what we're going to have is we'll put the packets in like so, seed packets. You have to go in there and pop those pockets just in case like that. So it didn't glue itself shut. It'll look like this. Oh, that's upside down. Like so, yeah? What do you guys think? Yeah? I think so. I think I like it. I'm going to add these in here. Put a vellum one there and a vellum one here. One here. There. Alright, you know what I want to do? I'm going to let those dry before I start putting any stress on those. I want those to be fully dried. So, okay. I'm going to put these to the side and we'll add those in shortly. So let's go ahead and just press down on here and make sure those are good. Alright, so next part of this panel, let's go ahead and start in here. We have some die cutting to do. and some decoupage to do. Yeah. So remember, we're going to put these 3 over here, and we're going to put 6 of these little guys over here. Okay. All right. All right, you guys, let's continue. This is the end product here. I put all the seed packets in, and I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Easily removable. We can put little labels here. I'm going to send, along with this book, all these stamped extra labels for, you know, if you want to replace whoever gets this, if they want to make them, you know, add more seed packets or they want to add new ones, they'll have labels to add to those things that, you know, to each one of those packets. But they can fit 12 on here. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 12 on here. I mean, you could even probably put 3 if you really wanted to in there, like that, you know. But we're going to leave it at 2 for now. And as far as bulk is concerned, looks good. All right, and here's our closure right here. We'll tie there. Yeah. Okay, let's continue with the next bit. So we've got the inside panels done. We'll leave that like they are. Let's do this one right here, real easy and real quick. We are going to do some envelopes that look like these, right? And we're going to use the green. This is the Tim Holtz craft stock paper, and we're going to distress it with some sandpaper. Did I bring my sandpaper? I did not. I'm going to have to get it here in a minute. But let's go ahead and do these. That's the next page here. And we'll see where we are on time and see how far we're going to get today. All right, for this envelope, just like any of my other basic envelopes, all you're going to need is a scoreboard, a pair of scissors, and some glue. And I always do a 1/2 inch gusset on mine. All right, now the craft stock actually is shorter than the backdrops. These are only, they're the same width, they're 6 wide, but they're only 9 long. But it's the same process, right, that I would use for a 6x10 backdrop. Now, 1/2 inch flaps on either side. Yeah, that's it. That's all you're gonna do for the scoreboard. Then you're gonna fold it up to your desired height or width or, you know, size of your envelope that you want to do. So for this one, I'm just gonna go up. It's since we have 10 inches to work with, right? I believe. Did I do 10? Let me make sure I got the width or the height right on this page. Right here. Okay, let's just double check what we're working with here. Or I could just measure these. They're the same. So these are 3.5 inches tall and then 5 wide. So 3.5 inches is what we're working with there. So we want the envelope to be a total of 3.5, which is here to here, right? So I'm going to fold this up after I fold my flaps first off. Duh. Let's go ahead and give those a good creasing here with the bone folder or your creasing tool, whichever one you're going to use. Then we're going to fold this up to about 3 1/4. Okay, we want to give a little bit of space between the edge of the entrance of the envelope and the flap of the envelope itself. Okay, so let's go right here. I think it's good. Lining everything up. Now this paper, if you're using it, is kind of difficult to work with because it's so thick. Okay, just keep that in mind. You're gonna have to work at it a little bit. It makes you work for it. Okay, that's that, give or take 3 1/4. Let me line these sides up and make sure that they're lined up here. Yeah, that the sides are lined up evenly. You don't want it like this or that, right? You want it nice and straight as you can get it. Okay, pretty close. Then we're going to fold it over, leaving it about 1/4 inch from the entrance to the fold itself, right? You don't want to fold it right up on top of the entrance there. Just give it a little bit of space. Okay. Okay, we're going to crease this down. Make sure that these sides are even as well. It's pretty darn close. And then go ahead and give that a nice crease. Yeah? Check to make sure that's even. It is. Alright, I'm going to do that to this other one real quick. So we're going to have 2. And it's just rinse and repeat. 1/2 inch flap on either side. Go ahead and fold on your score marks. Get that a nice crease as you can. All right, now fold up about 3 1/4 inches, no more than that. You don't want to go any further than that if you're using my measurements. Come on, work with me here. Okay, I think that's about right. It's good, pretty close. Okay, get that fold a nice creasing there. And then we're gonna flip it over, making sure to give some space between the entrance and the fold. Line up your edges. Okay. And then give that a nice crease there. That should be about 3 1/2, give or take. All right, next thing I'm going to do, now you can either round your corners here for your flap, or you can use die cuts like I do. You guys have seen me use them before. I actually got my die cut machine, and we're gonna do it together here. If I can get it under the table. Okay, got my little big shot here. And we are going to basically just cut away some part of this with a die cut. Get a little bit different look, yeah? And I keep them in here, so I'm going to use, I think, I want to use this one, I think. And where is my V-cut one? Is it over there? It is. Excuse me if I'm going to reach over the table and grab my V-cut here. And I'm also going to grab my sanding disc that I forgot to grab. These two, I think, or let me see here. I think I might use these two, might go together better. Yeah? Yeah, let's use those two. And then all I need is a little bit of washi tape that I also left over there on the other side of the table. It's hard, you know, when you film on one side and you actually do most of your daily work on the other side of the room. Try to get everything you need when you're filming, right? Okay, so what are we going to do? What I'm going to do is take my die cut here. Take a little bit of washi tape because I'm going to tape it onto the envelope of where I want it to cut, right? So I'm just going to, actually, I need to poke some of that old paper out of the holes there. It's left in there. There we go. Get out of there. Here we go. I'm going to position it where I want the cut, which is right about the middle. And then I'm just going to take my washi tape and cover that so it doesn't move while it's in the machine, right? And I need to get a new cutting mat. Oof, this thing is about had it, let me tell you. Goodness. Okay, where's my... Oh. Here we go. It used to go like this, here and here. Okay. Let's put this down first. Place my envelope here, and I'm going to open it up so it's easier it goes easier through the machine. Put down a second right here, and hopefully it will just take it. And it is. Come on. There you go. And just roll that through. Now again, you don't have to do this. If you want, you can just cut it with your scissors. Okay? This is something that I have and I like to do. It's a nice thing I think to do. Okay, let's take this piece off. Okay, look, somebody was trying to call me. I hope it didn't stop the recording. Punch these little holes out there. And then this is what our envelope will look like. Yeah, see, it's a nice little flap there. Alright, let's do the same thing with the other. I'm going to use to take this off of here. I'm going to put that back in a second. Put that in the bin. Grab my washi tape. Grab my die. Okay, I'm going to position that here. Right about in the middle, give or take. All this even-ish. I think about right. That looks a little better right there. Okay. I think I got it right. I hope so. Come on now. Sit still. Okay. I think I got it where I want it. Alright, so let's do that again. Rinse and repeat, yes? And of course it flipped off. Let's try this again. Okay. Lay this down. Bring it over to the machine. Put the top piece on. Hopefully I can run it through here. Fairly easy. Let's see. No, it is being difficult. Yep, it is. Come on now. Oof, it's not wanting to go. Excuse me 1 second while I try to reposition this thing here. Bring this back a little bit. Try this again. There we go. Once I get it rolling, it'll take it. It just takes some muscle to get it to go. There we go. It did not like it, but I made it go. Okay, let's see if that worked. Here we go. Alright, just take this off, throw that in the bin. Put the die to the side, and this one will look like this. Okay? Alright. Alright, let's put this to the side. Alright, let me straighten my mat here because it moved my mat around. Oop, I forgot to put the dies back. Let's put these back real quick. Sorry guys, let me put these back real quick or I'll lose them. I like this machine because it's got these two little spots on either side where you can put some dies that you use often to store, which is nice, and I use those a lot. This is the Big Shot fold away where the handle folds down in here. And if I wanted to, these actual sides would fold up and it stores in a really small space. But I use it so often that I just keep those plats down. Okay, so here are our envelopes here. All right, what are we gonna do next? Well, I'm not gonna sew them because they're so thick. What I am going to do is we're going to miter the folds and bring down some of this bulk, yeah? So, if you remember in any of my other envelope videos, that we go to the intersection here and we cut at an angle, like a little triangle, that we're going to cut out like that. Yeah? We do that on all the folds, on both sides, on both folds, on both sides. Yeah? Okay? And then at the entrance of the envelope, we cut at an angle there. That gets rid of a lot of bulk and helps it lay a lot flatter. To the other side as well. Like that on either side, right there. And that one's done for that part. Let's do the same thing on the other envelope here. Alright. Just cut your little triangle out. Rinse and repeat, yeah? And then add an angle at the entrance. Okay. Move that over. Now, this part, we're going to do some distressing before we glue it shut, okay? Now, I'm going to just use my sanding disc. You can use anything. You can use an emery board, piece of sandpaper, whatever. I just got these recently, so I wanted to try them. And since you're only going to see, once we fold this up, this part, and, oops, some washi tape stuck on here. Let's get that off here real quick. You're only going to see, get off my finger, this part, yeah? Go ahead and crease these again since we've mitered them now. They should lay a lot flatter. Here we go. That's much better. Okay, see how much flatter that lays? Now that we've mitered out those extra pieces versus how bulky it was a second ago. It lays nice and flat now. Look at that. Nice and flat. See? Okay, so, like I was saying, once it's all folded up and glued together, you're only going to see this front part, the flap, and this part here. I'm actually going to go ahead and get the notches in it as well before we do the sanding and the distressing. I'm using my 2-inch circle punch here to do the notches, by the way. You can make yours whatever size you want, or you don't have to do one at all. Alright, now, we'll do some inking after we do the sanding, if we even do that. So, like I was saying, since you're only going to see this here and this here, that's the only parts we're going to sand. We're not going to worry about the rest, right? So just take whatever you're using to sand with and just run it over the paper. And what it will do, will get rid of the color and bring the craft stock color through, making it look even more distressed, yeah? So, let's go ahead and do that as much or as little as you like, or if you don't want to at all, skip this part. And the more you rub it, the more distressed it gets, yeah? Now, I do it in a circle to make it look a little more natural, and it will make a mess, by the way, a lot of dust around. And again, do as little or as much as you'd like. You know, I like all the edges to come through. And pretty even all the way across the plane, yeah? So, right there, I think I'm going to be done there. I might do a little more up here. And maybe a little bit more in one corner, like so. Yeah? Let me go grab my wipes here, because I don't want this green dust to get on the fabric of the book. Once we're done sanding, I don't want little green tinges and green dust all over the book, right? Okay, so we'll do that after we finish sanding the other one. But I think I'm happy with that. A little more right here. A little right there. What do you guys think? Yeah? I think we're good. Alright, let's do the other one. Go ahead and get us a nice creasing now that we mitered it as well. And this one should lay a lot flatter than it did before. Look at that, nice and flat. Boom. That, see? Okay, let's start here. Again, I just do it in a circular motion until I'm satisfied. Okay. Might be the right time to change this thing out. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so cute. I love how that color comes through. Alright, let's wipe that down. See how it looks. All done. I think I'm good. Right here, a little bit more. Right there. I think I'm good with that. I think I'm satisfied with that. And I'm just going to brush this off with my hand. Put that to the side. Probably would help if I had a tissue or something to wipe these down. That's okay. We need to ink them still also. I'm just going to grab a wipe here. Wipe up all this dust here as much as I can. See all that? It's all the dust from the paper. You don't want that on your book cover. Okay, wipe my hands down a little bit. I don't want little green fingerprints on anything either, right? Add one more here. Excuse me. Alright. Wipe my hands down first. And then one more time here. I think this is good. Okay. Now, let that dry off a little bit. Come on, dry, dry, dry. Alright, while that's drying, I'm going to take my dauber and scorched timber and do just a little bit of inking, I think. Not much, just a little. Just a little. Just going to dab it around a little bit because I don't want to cover up what we just created with the sandpaper, right? Just a little bit. Maybe a little in here on this fold here, you know? Like that? Yeah, I like that. Maybe a little bit right here. Just dabbing it everywhere. Again, not paying too much attention of like normal where I make sure the edges are really nice and dark. Just a little bit to bring it out a little, yeah? There we go. I think I'm gonna go like that on these edges here. A little bit of separation between the flap and the body of the envelope, yeah? Ooh, that looks nice. I think we'll just do the edges and not do any brushing towards the center there. There we go. I'm happy with that, I think. Let's do the other. Put this upside down. All right, let's do this. Okay. Get that spot right there. On the inside fold, I'm going to hit it. Okay. All right. Hit that a little bit. Okay. And I think I'm satisfied with that. Let's see here. Maybe a little bit more right here in this curve here. I want there to be like that looks kind of like a shadow almost. Yeah? Okay. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. What do you guys think? Done. Yeah? Alright, let's glue these down and then we'll do, we can do the closure now. I'm going to do a magnet, of course. So, get your magnet and your Zots and some tape if you have it. Oh, I left it over there again. Okay. So, lately what I've been doing is putting the magnet on the inside of the body and on the inside of the flap instead of it being on the outside and the inside. Yeah? So, what I do to do that, so I'm going to grab my two magnets here. This side. And I'm going to... This is kind of the finicky part. Finicky or fiddly. The annoying part. So I'll take my magnet, first one, and I'm going to put it on my Zot here. Let that sit for just a second. I'm going to peel that off so I'm not touching the other pieces of adhesive there. Alright, and I'm going to peel this off gently. And then try to peel off what I don't need. So I just kind of pop that off. So it leaves back behind the adhesive I don't need, so it's not all covered on this side. Alright, and then I'm going to... Alright, estimate where that is. So, right there. So I want to put it right about in the middle here. Right underneath that point there, yeah? And I'm going to smush that down. Now, how am I going to find out where to put the second one if I'm not going to put it on the outside? I'm going to show you in just a second. Once I get rid of this excess glue over here, I want to peel off. Okay. Just taking my tweezers and going around and grabbing it, pulling it off. Yep. Press down on the magnet so you don't pull the magnet off. Grab it with your tweezers and yank it off. It's usually pretty simple. That'll get rid of that excess adhesive that's sticking out on the sides. But you want to make sure to press down on your magnet as you're doing it, as I have to pull up the adhesive from underneath the magnet, yeah? Okay, good with that. Now where's this one going to go? Well, all you need to do really Little trick is take a little bit of glue, tap it on there, close the envelope, and that's where your magnet needs to be. Now, if I'm putting it on the inside, how is that helping me? Well, it helps you get an idea of where to put it, because we still have to attach it to the inside. Now, what I do is I grab a little bit of tape, make sure I've got the right side here. So I'm going to flip it. This side needs to be up. It has the glue on it there. Oh, shoot. Try that again. All right, this side then attached to it is going to go on the tape, right? No, the other way. Yeah, so it should be like that. Yeah, okay. So probably best is to grab it with the tape. All right, let's do that. Put your magnet on the other one and pick it up with the tape. That way you know which way it's supposed to be up. And what I do is just basically kind of estimate. I'm looking at where the glue hit and trying to get the magnet behind that spot as best I can, yeah? And then I just push down with the tape. And then we test it, yeah? Let's see if that works. It did not work. Why is this not working? Is it too thick? Did I have it backwards? Let's try that again. Let's see. Why is that not working? Oh, because I did have it backwards. Look at that. Alright, let's try that again. A little bit of tape. Pick up our magnet. Yep. And attach it to where that glue dot was. Right about there. Let's see if that works. That should do it. Why is this not working? I don't understand. Is it in the wrong spot? It's a little bit off, but not by much. Yeah, that's the right way. Is this paper too thick, I wonder? It might be too thick. Let me see. Alright. Well, I guess we're going to have to put it on the outside. It might be too thick. Right? Okay, so let's go ahead and use the Zots here. We're going to adapt. Let's just go with what we know. Use the Zots. Alright, let's grab this guy. Put him down on the adhesive there. Rip that off. Okay. Press that down. Peel it up. And just grab the extra, rip it off like that. Then I'm just going to add this, attach it to the magnet, okay? And then close it. And there we go. Okay, we're going to leave it like that. I'm not really sure that this is just too thick of a paper, that our magnets aren't strong enough, because this is quite thick, this paper here. Okay, that looks good. Let's push that down some more. There we go. All right, now let's glue this shut. Now I am using art glitter. Now, this, like I said before, this is a really thick cardstock, so you are going to have to kind of give it a minute to hold down and catch really well, right? So I'm using a little extra glue here than I would normally on a paper product, just because the stuff is very thick and would rather not stick together. If you have binder clips, that could help you as well. Keep that stuff closed while it's setting and curing, yeah? Right, while that's going, I'm just hold it down. I'm going to glue in these flaps right here. Before we cut the flap down. And I'm just going to hit it with my bone folder. Make sure it's nice and down. Do the same thing on these edges here. It's starting to catch. I think it caught, actually. I think we're good. Alright, and that should close pretty good. Alright, let's give that a nice burnish right there. Alright, I think we are good. Just going to keep working it a little bit. Okay. That's closing just fine. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little binder clip on it at the top here, just while we're working on the other one, yeah? Okay, rinse and repeat time. Alright, let's go ahead and start by gluing down these flaps up here, get those out of the way. I should have done with the other one first. Okay. Okay. Give the edges a nice crease there. Same thing for these edges down here. Let's go ahead and give these a nice crease. Close your folds as well. Okay, let's get our magnet. Just need 2 again. Oops, excuse me. 1 and 2. Okay. Grab us some Zots here. And we'll attach one there. And then we'll attach the other one in just a second. Okay. Let's take this one and give a nice squeeze there. Peel that up. Alright, grab it and then yank it off. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, we're going to just use that tip of the flap there as our middle. Put that down there, close as we can get it. And then I'm going to go ahead and get this adhesive off real quick. Remember, always press down on your magnet so you don't pull up the adhesive underneath it. Just what's sticking out on the sides. Okay. Now, let's grab another Zot here. Take our second magnet, see where that goes. Which side is supposed to be right? Alright, this side that's showing is what goes on the Zot, okay? So we're going to pick it up, flip it over, make sure we got the right side by dropping it down again, and we do. See? Press that down into the adhesive and peel it up. Rinse and repeat. And grab the excess and pull it off. Yeah? There we go. Drop your magnet on top of the other one. Then just fold your envelope, press down, and that should leave your magnet where it's supposed to be. Use your tweezers to remove the excess. Well, again, rinse and repeat, yeah? Okay. Alright, I think we're good there. And that should catch like that, yeah? Alright. Let's glue this one shut, and these are good to go. Alright, there we go. Shut this down. Okay. And a nice press there. Keep pressing on that. Come on. I'm going to flip it over and do it on this side as well. Alright, we're starting to catch there. Getting there. Alright. Let's check the other one. I think this one is okay. Yeah, this one's good to go. Done deal. That one's done. Alright, let me put the binder clip on this one for just a minute or two. Make sure that catches, especially at the entrance, yeah? While that's catching, I'm going to put these aside for a moment. Alright, next step, we're going to attach these into our book. Okay. And these, well, let's put these on the outside too. I probably already knew that they weren't going to attach. Duh. Okay. Now, put this one here. And this other one should be good by now. Yeah, we're good. Yep. Good deal. Alright, let's go ahead and glue these down. And we'll go ahead and give it a hidden pocket, just for giggles, yeah? I don't know why. They both are really close to the same. Yeah, I want that one on top. All right, we're going to use, let's see here. I'm going to use art glitter glue here. Put that one right there. Let's make sure that's straight. Oops, grab that one before it falls. Yep, good. A little bit up, I think. That's the stitching that's throwing me off a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm satisfied with that. And our second one. Okay. And this one will go right here. Make sure that one's straight. Yep, you're good there. Let me check our time. Okay, we are a little bit over an hour. I think we're going to call this video here today. So we got this back centerpiece done, or the bottom section done, I call it, for the third panel. Okay, and I think it came out pretty nice. I like it. Just gotta decorate now. We got these two envelopes in. Yeah. Okay, so the next video, we are going to open this up, and we are going to work on this guy here, and these two guys here, and then we'll finish up with the other side with these three folders here. And what was I going to put over here? Oh, right. The accordion little files, or folders. File folders here with the specimen tags. Little specimen slides are going to go in there. Yeah? So I think that's going to look cool. And that will be it. So we decoupaging that and then punching these out. Okay? I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys are new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button and share as much as you like. Hit the bell to get notified anytime I upload new content. In the description below, I will try to track down the link or where I got that paper that I used for those inside pockets for this. I think it is Junk Journal Studios on her Kofi site. But I'll put that link and you guys can go get it. It's in there. What else? Also in the description is a link to our Etsy store. Go check it out. And also a link to our Kofi site, where we have some free ephemera there for you guys to download free of charge. And what else? Also down in the description is a list of commonly used products with an Amazon link to those. I do not make commission off those. That's just there for your benefit. So please, if you're wondering what I'm using, it should be listed there. If it's not listed there and I mentioned it, let me know and I'll add it to the list. My favorite thing to do is read your comments, so please leave me a comment in the down below. And if you like the video, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. And if you don't like it, leave me a message of why you didn't like it. You don't have to be nasty about it. Just let me know what you thought I could do better, or what you didn't want to see, or what you didn't like. That's all. I don't mind constructive criticism. I welcome it. So thank you guys for joining me for panel 3 here. I'll see you guys in part 17, where we're going to finish this up, I hope. All right? Wish us luck. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.